All right. Well, we're back at it again. Just another manic Monday. Magic Monday. Who the fuck knows? Tried to call my parents on the Obama phone. They're not Obama fans. My little sister was like, I'm gonna vote for Trump and I don't support Black Lives Matter. I hope I don't lose any friends over this ignorant comment. I'm white, not Caucasian. I'm just sitting here. I was like, unfriend. Good luck. But my dad won't answer because the last time I talked to him, he just hangs up. So he tells me to act like an adult, but he can't handle a phone call with conflict because he's never handled conflict in his life. Burns the house down. Talks shit on some dude at a music store. Leaves LA like a bitch. Gets punched in the head. Leaves early. Doesn't really have a degree. Goes to fake Brigham Young Academy back in like the 1500s or whenever it was. The 1970s and 80s. But whatever. David Bednar said, we still preserve the religious freedom and the right to gather. And I'm like, I left her a message or two. I'm like, you guys are so ignorant. Like, you're just going to gather your belongings in like a pair of inline skates and ride back to Nauvoo in Missouri after the Chiefs and the Niners game with Ja Reed's baptism and just go see if you can go to the little spiral Fibonacci temple that looks like the Community of Christ or whatever. That's the first part of Joseph Smith. Then it turned into Warren Jeffs, and that's probably like Donald Jeffs, the headmaster. And then it's like, what else? It looks like World 5 on Super Mario Brothers 3. Like, Ian would catch that reference, even though he's an idiot. But whatever. Glad I took my records off. Glad I'm divorced. Glad I remembered all that pain from my parents and my older brother and just like everyone ganging up on me and always accusing me and me having to be the fall guy every time. Oh, Trent took the ice cream or Trent did it wrong. And then they just laugh on me. No, and I prove myself. I'm like, no, I didn't. And then they're like, oh, that was fun for us. I'm like, okay, well, it's happening again. You didn't show up at my court cases. You're writing me handwritten letters. My mom, like 3 of them. I'm like, oh my God, I have to read more of Drexel's handwriting. It's all they care about is their handwriting, their signatures from like Steve Teeny, the same birth year. You guys are so annoying. They're liquidating their assets just like Elon Musk right now. What's today? July 20th. 2K20. Well, the good news is I waited a long ass time this morning and in the shower line. Had to come back in the afternoon, but got a good shower in, hot water, cleaned up, the hair's getting curly. I went out to the beach a few days ago because I had some skin issues, so I had to go get in the salt water, which works like a charm. Sunlight and salt water kills bacteria, and then go clean off with the clean warm stuff. So one step left. I just gonna jump on the bus, had to stash the extra bag and do a load of laundry. That's the next step. Phase 2 for today. Found a new place to charge, so at least I can get some phone battery. Reviewed all my luckily my Gmail account still has a bunch of stuff and I can get on there because I have all of the documentation of the divorce proceedings, the house, the eviction in Colfax, joining, like getting all verified with Coda Energy Group, Infinity Energy Group a couple times, moving off of Sanjeev that's stealing my marketing material, signing up with Vivint to try and get on there. Shelby gave me like $20 later for a sign on. I'm like, wow, thanks guys. I'm pretty valued. And then just kind of got on with that CRS team or CRM or whatever, CRS team with no official paperwork, so I had to join the other one, the Elevate one. So it's been a crazy ride, but I've basically been through almost every solar provider. Elon Musk is getting forced out of Alameda into Nevada because all of the shareholders are disappointed that he's just trying to be a celebrity and go on Joe Rogan, who just hosted Bob Saget or something. It's just like keeps getting filthier and filthier and filthier until they realize they're just talking about Fight Club. Rule number 1, and they're just still talking about it and like, oh wow, did you see what happened? guess who saw Bob Saget saw Bill Burr one time? He did something funny and crude. I'm like, oh, no way. He was at the show. Are you guys crazy? I bet that was so fun for like dirty comedians to be with dirty comedians. And like my face is falling apart. But that's COVID too, lockdown too. The chase for the stimulus check. After GR, that's the next step, but it's so hard to get. So just bounce around between 7-Eleven meals or Salvation Army meals. Yeah, Sunday morning was good. They always have coffee, and they had beef tacos, black beans, leafy greens. So that's pretty good stuff. A couple of messages just sending off my parents to be like, you're detached from me. Like, there's no chance we'll ever have a relationship. Same with Tanner or Kaylee or Jenna or Eliza or Steve or Nancy or Ian, Holly, and Kevin and Stephanie. Everyone's doing drugs and everyone's okay with it. But as soon as Trent starts doing something and he's in his adulthood and smokes a little bit of California weed, everyone freezes and calls the police on me. So that's been so fun. Evictions and court cases and having to move around systematically to match the climate. But you survive with what you do, and still at the beach. So Merry fucking Poppins. Go do some laundry and have a nice time. Thanks for everything. In the name of David Bednar, put on the whole armor of God. Go find Chance the Rapper and borrow his overalls and talk to James the Mormon, and then David the Bednar can rap about the pickles. David A. Bednar, pickle up in Rexburg. Rexburg, what? Because I want religious freedom. I'm like, okay, you can gather your things and just go back to Illinois. Or upstate New York. Or Missouri. And just kind of see why you're inbreds. Or you're falling for it. Because Delaney jokes at this point, straight up. I mean, he already got tricked by a forger. They've already been seen on film with Jeffrey R. Holland being like, oh, 9/11, right? Just being ignorant, not knowing how stupid he is, sounding like Scott Whitehead, they aren't best friends. And Sanjeev already snitched on him for being at Jeffrey R. Holland in Chile on a Sunday at the local market. Bad news for those paid apostles that are getting paid money and they